Gentlemen, welcome back. Um, where are we at? So yeah, we need to do our paving. If we remember, this was at 22 degrees from the straights, from parallel, perpendicular. I don't know. Anyway, so let's go ahead and rotate this to 202. Come on now. Thank you. Probably should have moved it a little bit. Okay. So, first what we need to do is get our ruler. And let's find us a good little spot there. Okay. 292? Does that make sense? Probably. Kicker on it. Alright. Where are you going? Alright. And that is good to go. One second. I got cat hair all in my mouth. Alright. Yeah, you remember Alf? He's back. Or at least eating cats is. They're delicious. Now I have a cat and it just, you know, has hair. That hair gets places. Alright, I'm putting it there just to do double duty, just for whichever one I decide to do. Anyway, that gives us our width. So we'll take our prop. So I have it set, prop stacking's off, just so that it doesn't give me a mess when I'm trying to pick which one I want to place it on. But if you go to the location data and set that before you adjust the position, it will set the rotation data to the prop that it's stacked on. And that has to be rotated over 3 degrees in order for prop stacking to activate. I don't know, I think we want to go a little bit more down. How about there? Okay. Now, what we want is for it to be as far down that way as possible. Let's try about there. It's that's good. The important thing is that it covers up that. I sent it a little bit further down track, just so that I could stack it all real nice and purty. For no reason. Doesn't affect anything. I'm trying to keep the line. So yeah, I guess that I should explain why I put that ruler down. That's as wide as I want the track to be. So I'm going to use the lines on the runway piece to sort of, be there. I'm gonna employ them, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do the outer walls yet, but either way, it should at least for some period of time give me a straight line. I don't know if I'll use all of it, but alright. Yeah, so you can look on your minimap and see whether or not the piece is relatively close to where it's supposed to be. You use the stars to match it up, then all your curves will match up if you're into that sort of thing. You know, it helps. It helps keep you from having a bunch of crap way overshooting and sticking way up in the background over there. So it helps keep everything kind of low. And when you're building, generally the lower that you can make something, the more believable it will be. And what I mean by that, like, obviously we make skyscrapers in real life. Like, what are you talking about? You can just build stuff into the sky. True, you can. You can do whatever you want. But if you really want to sell the place that you're creating to the audience, it has to be believable. So, like, you want, you want it to make sense. If you're out in the middle of the desert, unless there's a reason for it, then you're not gonna have like a whole bunch of really tall stuff. Because building tall is expensive in real life. Like, you've got to get steel structure and foundation work, all kinds of crap that I don't really understand, but I know is really expensive. And it costs money, so like, depending on how you're propping, how you're decorating, how you're doing your track, if it doesn't make sense, then people aren't going to, they're not going to believe it. They're not going to want to be in the space that you've created, You can create trippy, weird stuff, and there's something to be said for that. I did a lot of that kind of stuff when I first started creating because that's the kind of tracks that I wanted to be in. But for the most part, people want realistic kind of. They want to feel like they're there. I don't know. Just general vibe that I get from most people that race. They want to be on a racetrack. They want to feel like they're racing. That's what they want to do. Obviously, like, there's sim games, and, people play that. But, like, why do we play GTA? Whatever. We each have our own reasons for that. But point is, if you're not creating something that people want to be in, then ultimately, what's the point, right? Not saying everything has to be a masterpiece or you have to cater to your audience. By no means. I mean, look at me. I don't do what people tell me to. But I've eventually landed on the same kind of like realistic style that everybody goes for. Maybe not everybody. Maybe that's just where the community is at right now. But I don't know. After making a bunch of tracks, And you know, just driving in them, being in them. The more fun experiences are the ones that feel believable. So, all of that rambling to say, do your best to keep things low. Low is lifestyle. If you know, you know. But no, it's just easy, and it's easier to hide. It's easier to hide the structure of your track underneath other stuff. You going the right way? Yeah. If you just sort of generally operate under the rule of keeping things low. So, yeah, we're just steady laying track. That's probably right about there, yeah. Is there anything to go by? Those little lines, how about that? Line those guys up. It's the Y. I haven't really been paying close attention to the white line. I messed that one up a lot. Like, I think it might be messed up there. Yeah, totally is. But, you know, I got bad eyes, so I don't really care. Some people do, and they'll judge you for it, but, you know, I don't know if you can swear on YouTube. Sure, you can swear, right? Fuck those people. That's all I gotta say. You know, take pride in what you do. If it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. Alright, so we are moving along. How many more we got? Like 147 more of these things to place? Jeez. No. So, I don't know why I'm not taking more care in this demonstration to sort of try to get things as aligned as possible, because I already did the other side and I took relative care over there. Like right there, I feel happy about where that is. That's where it should be. Then maybe I should pop it up a little bit more because all the other ones popped up, but we're, you know, if we're off by a couple thou here or there, doesn't matter. Do we need this red one? We do not. Ooh, look at all that space. It feels so refreshing. Oh, did I not pop it? I went too fast. That's fine. Alright, let's get back down there. The rotation. Then get the position. Then you get the women. Yeah. Alright. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's tedious, but you know, like, you only have to do 2 corners. We're just copying the other side. And since we're using the templates where we know the values of the straights, we have those already built. We have the straights built. So we can do whatever we want. No, I mean, my point is, even if you're doing a tri-oval, you know, normally you can't like copy and paste it on the other side because it's like doesn't match up or whatever. But if you build it so everything's like equal and normalized, then if you get down to that straight bank value, which in our case is 2 degrees, is it? No, we went 4 degrees, didn't we? We did. We went 4 degrees. I sure hope I did that on the other side. Well, we'll find out. We will find out. If that's the case, then I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do if that's the case. Everything will be weird and off. I'll have to rebuild it if that's the case. Which, you know, all part of the process, I guess. Where are we in said process? Over here. Do we get our little stars matched up? It doesn't look like they're matched up. Looks like that one's doing... Oh, it is matched up. What's up with that one? It's just like that? It just doesn't have a tip? That can't be. There's gotta be something going on there. I don't trust that star. Anyway, so yeah, let's lock that guy in there. We don't need that white one. No, we don't need that white one. Next. Yeah, so to catch up, I guess, if you are coming onto the second video for some reason, I don't know what the title is going to be. Maybe I came up with a clever title. And that's why you're watching the second one before the first one. And you just kind of want to see where things are at, and you really want to get going. Yeah, so for your benefit, we laid our little ramp of banking props set to the 0 axis. So essentially the straightaways are running 90 to 180 degrees. Right? No. 0 to 180. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, so 0 to 180, so they're zeroed out. As I say sometimes. Let's make sure it's good. It's good. Is the Y value good? Man, I have not been checking those. Seems okay. Yeah, so we actually started this way and just sort of went with it. And now we're paving. But as we went down, we rotated 2 degrees on the Z rotation with the world, what do you call it? Alignment? Ooh, you need to behave. Alright. Yeah, so we rotated 2 degrees Z value for every 2 degrees X value, rather 2 degrees Z and 2 degree X at the same time. And that's how we sort of laid this in, following a guide that we placed on the floor. And I sort of followed that line, that curve that it created, and layered these in. And it kind of did some weird, unexpected stuff, except it's not that unexpected. I don't know, I found a sufficient answer to my own ponderings. If you're interested, check that video out. It's not really that interesting. But yeah, so that's how we laid those in. 2 degrees Z, 2 degrees X. Just rotate those inward and lay yourself out. And then after we laid them down, we discovered that our straightaway, which is banked 4 degrees because I want to do some stuff, but we found that that was rotated we'll need 2 degrees from 0. So we had rotated Z axis 22 degrees. What am I doing? There we go. Yeah, so that's how we have our geometry for our banking. What I suspect is going to end up happening is things are going to get a little rowdy where we join the corners, the props, the sides. Am I going the wrong way? Not even adjusting the right value. Okay. Now we go. We go the other way. Anyway, so yeah. What I was saying, things gonna get a little rowdy. I think because this track that we're creating is a bit shorter than where like the natural run out is. Yeah, so that black prop is where we go quote unquote flat. And it's not a whole lot of, it's not too bad. I don't know, we'll see. See what's up. I haven't been deleting the other ones as we go. It's like, what is that gray one? Do we need that gray one? I don't think we need that gray one. Can we get rid of all of them? Let's just make sure our Z value's good. Let's go with that. Get rid of the... No. Let's do one more. Oh, but we're not going to be able to see her. I think. Just going to have to try to get as close as we can. We use the stars. We use the stars to align our course. I don't know what accent that is. I don't know if they use stars to navigate, whoever that perpetrator of accents maybe. Where are we at? Did we go too far? I think we went too far. I think we need to be right around there. Yes, yes. How does that look? Looks good there, looks good there. That looks good. Everything looks pretty good. I don't know. Did we get it? I think it's okay. Alright. So, now, before we get these guys, let's just get them out of here. No reason for them to be here. Be gone. Alright, so, what we've got now is this last straightaway piece. What I should do, I need some water. That's what I need. Where's my water? 1 second. Okay, so on my... there we go. On the straight, I'm gonna have like a skirt banked. Since the straightaway is banked 4 degrees, the skirt will be banked 3 degrees. That may change, but for now, we're gonna do that. So what we need to do is... Yeah, we're gonna use that as our registration prop. I don't know if it's really a registration, but we're going to use it to guide, line everything up. Okay, so this guy. There they are. There's our stars. Okay. Okay. We don't need you anymore. Three degrees. So the reason you get more fine adjustment with the world values like that is because it's rotating, it's not rotating, rather it's moving along essentially two axes at once because it's aligned on the world, and since ours is off the 0, 180 value, it's moving along the 0, 180, whereas our prop's oriented different angles, so you're gonna get a bit more of a fine adjustment. And that said, let's be as close as we can. How about it? I find when you use the triangle to sort of zoom, or turbo, whatever you want to call it, it will skip its location. Now this could just be because the way the props sort of bug out at the ends, the runways, they're sort of, it's not the right one. That'll be good. That will do. Okay. So we don't really need our ruler anymore. Yeah. Okay, so first, alright, so this is what we got. Got both sides done. Now, you may ask yourself, how do we get them pinched together? Well, I'll show you. But my coffee's ready, so bear with me one moment. I know, dead air. Maybe I'll edit this and I'll put in like a joke or something. So, yeah. Alright, I'm back. Editor's note. This did not get edited later, so I am sorry for making you sit there and look at this for however many seconds, but, you know, I'm sorry. Oh no. Do we remember what it was? It was 202. Or rather, 22. Okay, so what we're going to be doing when we match them, we're going to be meshing this side with this side. So I want this corner to be pretty next to where I'm going to be working. This one I'm going to be matching up this black to this not black. Do we want to do blue? It'll eventually be a different color, but I just need something high contrast, but not like overpoweringly. Alright, so we are good to go. Let's do our templates. So this will be this one. Start all the way down here. Ooh. Sure, we got all those good. Okay, now let's go back along. Got them all. Oh, we need this guy. Need that guy for sure. I'm wondering, should we have done the skirts first? Let's do those later. Let's take this step by step. You could save some time and do the skirts now, but we'll go over that in a minute. What I worry is that there will be too many props in the area and it'll just be difficult to work with, but we're going to keep our template, so if we need to take it somewhere else, we still have templates. We'll just recreate it, template it, and move it somewhere else. So that said, when we get to work, this will be turn 2 and 4. Let's call it 2 and 4. How about that? All right. So when we get to work, it's important to leave these as registration marks. So if we need to reuse the template, these are actual registration points, registration props that we can use to match things back up. So we will not delete these props once we get to it. They're enough out of the way. They're where they need to be. They're fine. Alright, so let's do the other one. We did that one. That was our anchor for this side. You see it is oriented, so its 0 value is perpendicular to, or rather parallel to the straights. Now this one, same deal. Yeah, yeah. You can see where I'm going with this. But first, before we do that, we need to give ourselves some contrast so that we can see what we're doing. Go back to red, yeah? Alright, so now we got ourselves some contrast. If you don't like rainbows, I'm sorry, but it's just an easy way to figure things out. Easy way to see stuff. Okay. New template. Turns 1 and 3. Got him. Why did I let that go so far up? Because I was just going with what I did. That's fine. We'll hide it. I was talking about keeping things low. I was rambling about keeping things low, and I didn't actually look to see if I was keeping things low. Ooh, that's frustrating. I'm not going to go back and change it, though. That's too much work. We'll just build stands or something there. Do the walls. Figure it out. Billboards. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Is that all of them? Sure enough is. Oh, we gotta get this gray guy too. Okay. I think that's good to go. How about that? Alright, so how much distance do we have? Well, we don't really know. It looks like it'll be less than... I don't know. Alright, anyway, let's save that template. This will be turns 1 and 3. Okay. So, now our work is done here. Set Eclipse Towers. Do I remember where it is on the map? Is it right here? Is it? Is it right here? I feel like it might be over there. It's gonna be embarrassing if I click on the wrong one, because I spent so much time at Eclipse Towers. Is that right? No, I was totally wrong. Absolutely wrong. Oh, now I gotta figure out where I'm at. Alright. So, this is a building I'm using as like the race office. So, we gotta make some kind of decisions here. It was 4 stories. But I feel like 4 stories is excessive. I want to do a lot of banked skirting with a bunch of concentric circles, because that's kind of what I had going on with the original Lightning Raceway. So that's going to drop my floor down. So do I start with it as 2 stories and see if it makes it down to 3, or do I start with it at 3, see how far down it goes? If it goes to 4, whatever, it is what it is, but I can always just build up, like, the foundation inside of the track. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to set the floor at 3 stories. Alright, so what I did do is made a platform. Let's get it oriented the right way. Oh, that's right. That's why I built here originally, because it was at the zero orientation. That's cool. Okay. So, perhaps. Okay. That's 3 stories. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 3. How does that look? I like that. I feel like that's better. And then I can just do more. It's not so tall and imposing, so it's like, I mean, it's still tall, but I like it. I like it better. The question is, do I want it dead center? Or do I want to try to, like, bring it close to the straight? Don't really know where everything's gonna land, but... Yes, kitty? Oh, you fell off. You see, you tried too hard, cat. Alright, yeah, so what I think is probably gonna be the most likely scenario is I'm gonna use the, let's just use this one track with barriers, because they're easier to get to. Yeah, so I think this will be my inside. So I kind of want to give it enough space so if I have to do like a platform, I can do that. But I don't want to give it too much space. So let's make sure it's 0. And I'm not so worried about the X value. I want to make sure that the Y value is good. So if I need to build up a platform, that'll be fine. Because I don't want to build it up higher than, I like that tile, you know, I'm not going to want to hide that. So if I need to build like a wall, essentially what I'm getting at is I'd use a track garage and raise that up, and I'd want the okay, so let's, if we're gonna have barrier, we want it to be, yeah, we want it to be like a post. We don't want it to be integrated into the concrete. Yeah, so Should be more or less good. Then again, I say I'm not worried about the X value, but we're gonna try to get this thing placed. So, if we do it on the front stretch, if we have it running along, do we go a lap down on this track? It's not gonna be very big, but so let's think about this. With our little concentric circles, we could have the pit exit. You don't necessarily go a lap down, but you enter on the back stretch and exit the pit road on the front stretch. So, yeah, let's do that. How much room do we want to give ourselves before we start making the turn in? We're not going to really have to worry about line of sight because it's the actual track will be much further out. The actual track will probably be about over here-ish. Yeah, so I kind of like that. Let's do that. So you come right around the building. All right. Now I definitely want. Oh, I think I had. No. Okay. So, question is, how long is this track gonna be? Do I want to go the full distance? I think I do. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so that gives us an idea of the size. Let's back to our templates. What? Okay. I don't want to place that. Okay, that's fine. The original prop was 0 degrees. Whenever you delete a prop, it rotates back to 0. You can back out of props and it'll go back to the original prop's location most of the time. It's inconsistent, but either way. I know that my values are at 0, so let's rotate them. I want to start the other way. 180. Okay. So we need turns 3, on. Extra room. Things in the way. Okay, so it should be about there. Let's give ourselves a little more room. I'd rather make it up with a platform than be too close. Alright, that looks good. Okay, so now just for... Yeah, we're gonna have to delete that for sure. I think it's in the way. Yeah, and I should have used the first prop anyway. Whatever. It's still close enough that I can see. Although, what I am gonna do, I'm just gonna put it in there. Okay. So, now I can get more zoom. More closer. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is get it so the ends of the props just hide themselves. Okay. So I think... no. It's not good enough. It needs to come back, forward. Okay, so what I'm looking at, that orange part, the furthest on the left side of the screen, that orange part, that there's a little triangle laying down. And then over on the right side, there's a black triangle that pretty much matches. So, that's what I use to sort of guide myself to see if it's in there right. And our left and right orientation, if you look sort of in the middle, you see there's like a line. Now, I'm off a little bit, but I don't know if I can get any better. And I'm afraid to move it, but I'm gonna... Oh, yep, I did, and I went the right way. Okay, so that center line, everything's sort of symmetrical there. It actually almost makes like a little bowl. That's really cool. This is really good positioning. Oh, but then I lost the orange. Mm, but it's center. It could just be that the props are off. Mm, I don't know, man. We're going with this. This is pretty good. Okay. Now, remember, we're not deleting our registration props. But everything is oriented the right way. So, question is, I didn't test. It's really important to test everything as you're building it. But it should be. Yeah, there's a little hiccup, but that's pretty smooth, man. I don't know why I'm in the ever. Yeah, so that works. Totally works. Oh, we're getting close to an hour. Yeah, so we'll get the other side in the next video. But basically, we're gonna extend this platform over here so that we got, you know, somewhere to see it. And then it's just a matter of matching up the black and gray runways, and then that'll match everything else up. And if we were careful, everything should match up. All the lines on this side and on this side. Yeah, and we will get to doing the skirts, and sort of the infield. We won't decorate the infield, but we'll get the floor, get that all laid in. Yeah, and then we'll start doing the walls. Alright, cool. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all in the next video.